Hello, welcome once again to Sami KMF and Mathematics. I'm sure you've been visiting my videos on YouTube and you've been having fun. We've been talking about groups and groups. But to be realistic, is it possible to view a group? Sometimes is it possible to look at a set of real numbers under multiplication or under addition? To be realistic, that is quite difficult. So in real life, we look at subgroups. I want to talk about that. So imagine that this was a group. Sometimes we may not be able to check every member of this group. So what we do is that we simply study one particular subset of this whole set. So if this was a group, sometimes we study this, which we call the subgroup, if it has the same property, the same binary operation as this. So today we are discussing subgroups. So what is the subgroup mathematically? Okay, now the first thing to note is that we must have a group G. I remember we talked about the group G and a binary operation in my last video, and I gave examples. Now, what is a subgroup? One, a subgroup is a subset, proper subset or subset of G. So first, it must be a subset or proper subset of G. But that is not enough condition. The next condition is that the subgroup of itself must be with the binary operation that is attached to the group itself. So whenever you take out a part of it, just as I took out the ball, it must have the same binary operation as the group itself. But that is not just enough. Another condition is that it must contain the identity element. You remember I talked about the identity element. So this must contain the identity element. And another thing is that, which I will call the fourth condition, is that whenever you take an element A, you take another element B in H. Wow, this is very interesting. The product of the element and the inverse of the other element must be in H. Or the inverse of A and B must be in H. This is sometimes referred to as a subgroup test. Now, don't confuse yourself with the b raised to the power of minus 1. That is mostly used in a group that is a multiplicative group. That means the binary operation there is multiplication. If it is an additive binary operation, then we say that A minus B must be a member of H. Now, let me give you a good example of a subgroup. You remember Z. Z contains the elements minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, That is the group Z. This is a group, it's a set, but under addition, this becomes a group. It becomes a group. Yeah, but, so this becomes a group. But if I want to pick a subgroup from here, all I need to do is to multiply this by 2. Once I multiply this by 2, I'm going to be having group of even numbers. They just call them even numbers. So let me put this minus 2n plus or minus 2. 2n plus or minus 2. So I'll be having even numbers. N being a positive integer. So take note of this. I have this and I have this as a subgroup. Now, this gives you an idea that the set of even number under addition. So if I have 2z with the binary operation, this is a subgroup of this. How is it a subgroup? Now it is closed. How do we show that it is closed? If you add any two even numbers, it is always going to give you an even number. If it is associative, you can try that. And it has the identity element 0. And also, every element you pick there is also going to have its inverse. So this is a clear subgroup of this. Now, another thing we need to know is the set, if I were to multiply A by, let's go over here. If I were to multiply this, is this a subgroup? Is this a subgroup? Or simply let me call it, it makes it easier when I say, 3Z. 3Z is okay. So is this a subgroup? Now we need to think of that. If we are going to be having numbers that are multiples of 3, if you take any two numbers here and add it together, is it going to give you this? That is a very big question. Now, if you come back here, odd numbers can't be subgroup. Why? Because if you pick any element or any two elements out of the set of odd numbers, you see that this cannot form a group under addition. Why? Because it is not closed. If I add any two odd numbers, odd number is going to give me an even number. So the closure property is not safe because this is not closed. So this is a clear example of a subgroup of this. But we have many other subgroups. Now you will be tempted that since this is a group, you'll be thinking that Zn I talked about in one of my videos, Zn is a subgroup of this. Please, it is not a subgroup of this. This is not a subgroup of this. Now take note that this symbol is always used, so I can use H is a subgroup of G, or this is a proper subgroup, so you say H is a proper subgroup of G, or you can also say that H is a subgroup of G. Now I end with this. Whenever we talk about subgroup, there's something we need to look at, and that is this. The trivial subgroup, number one, the trivial subgroup, so, or you can just call it the trivial subgroup, and call it this is trivial subgroup. This is a subgroup that has to do with only one element, and that is the identity element. So, having G as a group itself, this is the trivial subgroup, and the next thing we have is G itself. G itself is actually a subgroup of itself. That sounds very, very funny, but G is actually a subgroup of itself. So this is a subgroup, and this is also a subgroup. But those are not the only two subgroups. In some cases, they may be the only two subgroups. In those cases, we call them simple groups. But I don't want to go into that now. But the case whereby you have this and you have this, all you need to find is to find any other subgroup. If you have the trivial subgroup, you have the group itself, then you can have any other group itself that forms the subgroup. But take note that the subgroup is also a group. Very interesting property. It's also a group. Because if you look at the subgroup, if you have any, we already said that A, B inverse is in H. So if this was to be the identity, and this is supposed to be the inverse of the identity, you see this all at the end of the day still give us E, which is in H. Very interesting. And you see that AB inverse also has the same thing as B inverse inverse, A inverse, which is B, A inverse, which we know is also in H. So you see all the properties are satisfied, making this a subgroup. So take note, anytime you want to show that a particular group is a subgroup, first you must show that it is a subset, you must show that it still holds with the same binary operation of G, and you must also show that the identity element is there, and you must show that for any two elements to pick, the product of the element with the inverse of the other element will be found in that group. In the next video, I'll be talking about cyclic groups. I'll also be giving examples of subgroups. Thank you.